So over the past few years, I've been wondering, what the hell's Konami been up to? You know, ever since Metal Gear Survive, ever since the Metal Gear Solid 3 Pachinko, hell, even ever since the Metal Gear Solid 5 days with the way they treated the Kojima Productions team during Metal Gear Solid 5's development. My respect for this company has drastically diminished, to say the least. And I wish I could tell you that they've made decisions to change public perception towards them, but unfortunately, what they continue to do with their treasure trove of franchises, the way they continue to butcher their beloved franchises, is nothing short of just unfortunate. So this right here is a headline that I came upon. Silent Hill will continue in slot machine form. This was an article published back in October 12th, 2019. There is not much else to read into it. It's exactly as it reads, and we can actually see the trailer on Konami Gaming's official YouTube page. And yeah, check this out. This is Konami right now. Not unexpected, but still heartbreaking to see. Yep, it's literally just a big-ass slot machine with a big-ass screen. 4K Ultra HD excitement. 49-inch portrait J-curve screen to really flash those visual and auditory effects in your face to give you that rush of dopamine when you win something and to keep you coming back and addicted. This is how slot machines work. It's also how loot boxes work, but this is literally just the slot machine. There it is. The right games right now. Silent Hill Escape. Silent Hill Return. And they do show some more glimpses of what that looks like. I mean, it looks like a PS1 game, a PS2 game at best. It looks like the garbageware you find on Steam, graphically speaking. And I don't know what the hell All Aboard is, but this is what Silent Hill's been relegated to. The future of play. This looks like an EA mantra. The future of play. I mean, it's no secret that Konami envisions its future with slot machines at the forefront of their business endeavors, but yeah, this is Silent Hill now, though. This is it. This crap is what we're expected to look forward to henceforth. Now, even if they're making some kind of new console game, I wouldn't really expect quality from that, given what their recent releases inform about their video game division right now. So this is Contra Rogue Core. It's an infamous game. I think many of you have probably heard of this title, seen the reviews, seen the utter butchering of Contra with this title. It looks something like this, for those who have never ever seen it. But yeah, they released a new Contra game earlier this year.
See that drill he's got instead of a hand?
And
He's real proud of it.
I mean, this is about as low effort as you can get.
Human brain. I love him so much.
It's impossible to tell this is even Contra.
He was used in an experimental
There is nothing about
bug you'll ever meet.
the spirit of Contra that's captured in any way, shape, or form in this footage.
Call me Arrow Captain.
Like, they try to 3D-fy the Contra series, but the gameplay just It's an isometric type of shoot 'em up, which is not what Contra's ever been, and this is certainly not Contra. I mean, Contra's always been ludicrous in its own way, but not in this way. Not in this kind of silly, goofy, let's put panda bears in Contra type of way. And it looks like garbage. The visuals are, again, what you'd find as shovelware on Steam. And you can see right here from the reviews that this game wasn't received particularly well. I mean, from what I hear, there's actually like weapon cooldowns in this game. A Contra game with weapon cooldowns is not a Contra game. In Contra, you're supposed to just be able to shoot infinitely. It's infinite ammo and just Rambo your way through these frickin' aliens and do like 100 flips in the air as you platform your way through the various levels. There's just such a severe lack of understanding in terms of what makes the franchises Konami has great. I mean, if they're not relegating their franchises to frickin' slot machines, they're releasing new entries like these that fundamentally disregard the spirit of that franchise, of what made them great, what people loved about them. Then we have Castlevania, Grimoire of Souls. So Castlevania, another beloved franchise. Now this one, out of all of them, I'd say this is the one that looks okay. So here's the trailer for those who haven't seen that yet. It does have that 2D Castlevania vibe. If we look at the gameplay right here. It is a mobile game though. It is not a console title, it is a mobile game. And it brings back a lot of the characters from the series. And to its credit, visually at least, just from looking at it, it looks alright. But I worry about a couple things. First of all, there's an emphasis here on hacking and slashing. Hack, slash, whip, and blast your way through Dracula's army in real time. Action-packed combat. Right here, take on the demonic horde as your favorite characters from the Castlevania series. Master each character's unique combat style to overcome even the fiercest of foes. Castlevania has never been a game about combat. It's never been about pulling off crazy combos. It's never been a hack and slash. Combat is a core part of it, but it's always been about the tools that you have and how you use them in the face of the variety of enemies and in the face of the game's explorable environments. It's always been about that and exploration, of course. The fact that there is such an emphasis on action-packed combat already tells me there is a fundamental misunderstanding of what makes Castlevania special. And I'm also worried that they're implementing multiplayer in a Castlevania game. I don't feel as though multiplayer belongs in this franchise. And it says right here that the multiplayer will entail 4-player boss rush mode and 4v4 competitive multiplayer. Like co-op multiplayer exploration I can maybe kind of understand, but 4v4 competitive multiplayer? And that again informs me that they're planning to go for something more action-packed, right? More combat-heavy, which is, again, not in the spirit of Castlevania. And the fact that this is a mobile game is all the more disconcerting given the monetization antics that we've come to expect from mobile titles. And this is Konami we're talking about. I would be hard-pressed if they didn't monetize the shit out of this game. And that finally brings us to Metal Gear Survive, which is Konami's first major release, I believe, after Kojima left the company. And yeah, you can see for yourself right here. I've covered this in the past, but Metal Gear Survive was not well received at all. They took this solid foundation that Kojima established with the Fox engine and the assets used for Metal Gear Solid 5, and once again, with a fundamental misunderstanding for what makes that Metal Gear name so legendary and special, they butcher the franchise with a zombie survival game, zombie horde mode shooter. tower defense type of thing that was poorly implemented. I think they are working on another Metal Gear game. I mean, I don't know. I've gotten hints that it's not over for Metal Gear from statements that I've seen in the past, but given Contra, what they did with Contra, given this is what Contra's revival looks like, given this is what Silent Hill looks like now, given this is what Castlevania looks like now, a mobile, action-packed outing, am I really supposed to believe that I should feel optimistic about a Metal Gear endeavor by Konami? See, I don't even think Konami cares at this point. They don't care about appealing to the fans. They just care about using the franchises, the name of the franchise, the history of a franchise, to bring attention to their shitty products. Here's the thing, when you hear about Silent Hill becoming a slot machine, that makes headlines. You know, All Aboard doesn't make headlines. Silent Hill does. And so it brings some kind of press attention to this. And I guess Konami's philosophy is that any press is better than no press, even if it's negative press. Contra, I mean, this isn't Contra, but calling it Contra brings some form of attention to it. If they would have called it something else, like a new franchise, nobody would have taken a second gander at this garbage. Because it looks like garbage, and it is garbage from generally what I hear. But by labeling it Contra, there's some attention drawn to it. By calling this zombie game Metal Gear, despite it not being in any way, shape, or form a Metal Gear game, not really, they have brought attention to it. People at least looked at it. They were curious about it. And that's the only reason they have those names. Not to do justice to them, but to exploit those names. To exploit that history. To exploit the fandom. To exploit the nostalgia. They're not trying to push boundaries. They're just trying to make a quick buck. So yeah, there you have it, folks. This is sort of a compilation in terms of what Konami's been up to. And as you can see, it's still good old Konami. The Konami that's missing the creators of beloved franchises. The Konami that's taking liberties with these franchises and violating these franchises in the most unsavory ways. It just sucks. I mean, Silent Hill, Castlevania, Contra, Metal Gear. I grew up with all of these. I wish Konami would license these IPs. I wish that's what they would do. Make some money that way. You don't have to do anything. Sit back, take some money from the licensing, and let developers who are passionate about these franchises have their spin on these. Because they certainly have a much better chance of producing a product that's worthwhile than Konami internally. Please license these out. Or just let them die with some dignity left, for the love of God. That's my take on all of this. I'd love to hear what you think about these recent Konami developments and what they've been up to in the comments below. With that, I would like to end this news update and discussion video. Thank you for tuning in. To be further updated on all things gaming news, reviews, and discussions, stay tuned right here on Young Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Young out.